Friday, the Star Wars saga continues.
Punch it!
The Empire Strikes Back.
Skywalker will join us or die.
With old friends.
Oh, switch off.
And new heroes.
Feel the Force.
On new worlds.
You have learned much.
You'll find I'm full of surprises.
The next chapter of the Star Wars Trilogy Special Edition. The Empire Strikes Back. And still playing in theaters. Star Wars. Both films rated PG.
Welcome back, Emperor's Hand. You've been a long time in returning.
The Empire once destroyed an entire world because of me. I don't ever want that to happen again.
I'm not kidding. The katana's been found, and I've got a line on the guy who found it. He rolled half over, looking up at Mara with stunned disbelief. What? She was standing over him, her face so pinched with emotion he could hardly recognize it. Her lips moving with words he couldn't hear.
Jedi Skywalker, the final case of the evening is yours.
Yes, Master Sabayoth. I'm ready. Please, begin.
Jesh, Brindledom, Mashka, no, Gila, Large, Tharb, Nilly Foo, Sim, Nikki Folly Moo, Gila, Large.
All right. In the matter of the fruit bushes themselves, my judgment is that you will pay for the replacement of those damaged beyond repair, plus an additional payment to compensate for the fruit eaten or destroyed by your livestock. The latter amount will be determined by the village council. As to the fence, I'll examine it tomorrow morning. I want to see how badly it was damaged before I make my decision.
I therefore declare this session to be closed. I sometimes wonder, Jedi Skywalker, whether or not you have really been listening to me these past few days.
I'm sorry, Master Sabayoth.
Sorry? You had it all right there in your hands. You should have cut off their prattle far sooner than you did. You should have made the decision yourself on the amount of compensation, but instead gave it over to that absurd excuse of a village council. And as to the fence, there was absolutely no reason for you to postpone judgment on that. Everything you needed to know about the damage was right there in their minds. It should have been no trouble, even for you, to have pulled that from them.
But reading another person's thoughts that way seems wrong.
When you're using that knowledge to help him, how can that be wrong?
I'm trying to understand, Master Sabayoth, but this is all so new to me.
Is it, Jedi Skywalker? Is it really? You mean you've never violated someone's personal preference in order to help him? Or ignored some minor bureaucratic rule that stood between you and what needed to be done?
Yes, I've done that on occasion. But this is different somehow. It feels, I don't know, like I'm taking more responsibility for these people's lives than I should.
I understand your concerns, but that is indeed the crux of the matter. It is precisely the acceptance and wielding of responsibility that sets a Jedi apart from all others in the galaxy. You must never forget, Luke, that in the final analysis, these people are primitives. Only with our guidance can they ever hope to achieve any real maturity. Machines and societal constructs do not define a culture's maturity, Jedi Skywalker. Maturity is defined solely by the understanding and use of the Force. There was such a society once, Luke. A vast and shining example of the heights all could aspire to. For 1,000 generations, we stood tall among the lesser beings of the galaxy, guardians of justice and order, the creators of true civilization. And in return, the galaxy destroyed us.
I thought it was just the Emperor and a few Dark Jedi who exterminated the Jedi.
Do you truly believe that even the Emperor could have succeeded in such a task without the consent of the entire galaxy? No, Luke. They hated us. All the lesser beings did. Hated us for our power and our knowledge and our wisdom. Hated us for our maturity. And that hatred still exists, waiting only for the Jedi to re-emerge to blaze up again. Believe it, Jedi Skywalker. That's why we must stand together, you and I. Why we must never let down our guard before a universe that would destroy us. Do you understand?
I think so. I haven't experienced any such hatred.
You will. As will your sister and her children.
I can protect them.
Can you teach them as well? You risk their futures over a selfish whim. No, we can't risk being divided and destroyed again. You must bring your sister and her children to me. Do you doubt that I can protect her?
It's just that... Master Sabaoth? Are you all right? Come, Master Sabaoth. I'll help you to your chambers.
You're tired, Luke. Leave me and return to your chambers for sleep.
Are you all right? Because if you need my help...
I said leave me. I am a Jedi Master. I need help from no one. Now return to your chambers. Sleep, and we will talk further in the morning.
He stood before her, his face half hidden by the cowl of his robe. His lips moved, but his words were drowned out by the throaty hooting of alarms all around them, filling Mara with an urgency that was rapidly edging into panic. Between her and the Emperor, two figures appeared. The dark, imposing image of Darth Vader, and the smaller black-clad figure of Luke Skywalker. They stood before the Emperor, facing each other, and ignited their lightsabers. The blades crossed, brilliant red-white against brilliant green-white. They prepared for battle. And then, without warning, the blades disengaged, and with twin roars of hatred audible even over the alarms, both turned and strode toward the Emperor. They moved outward to flank the Emperor, and as they lifted their lightsabers high, the Emperor raised his hands, sending cascades of jagged blue-white lightning at his enemies. Both men staggered under the counterattack, and Mara watched with the sudden agonized hope that this time it might end differently. But no. Vader and Skywalker straightened, and with another roar of rage, they lifted their lightsabers high.
You will kill Luke Skywalker!
And with a jerk that threw her against her restraints, Mara snapped out of the dream. For a minute, she just sat there, gasping for breath. She had arrived at Jomark. The wailing of the ship's alarm jerked her awake. What? She barked aloud to the empty cockpit. She'd only been out of it for a minute or two. The Islamir and framework that Aves had given her were back near the aft hatchway. It was as if someone had snapped on a light switch. 1 second she felt as if she had just finished a 4-day battle. Half a step later, The fatigue abruptly vanished. Nice try. There were no weapons emplacements or defense shields anywhere that she could detect. Hunching herself over the control board, Mara headed in. Maybe she could convince him that she was done for without actually wrecking the ship in the process. If she could just find the proper formation in that cliff face. There it was. Hey, you, droid. Are you Skywalker's astromech unit? If you are, you know who I am. We met on Merkur, remember? Your master's in trouble. I came to warn him. All right, then. Don't do it for me. Take me up there, because otherwise your precious master won't know until it's too late that his new teacher, Sabaoth, is working for the Empire. You must be Sabaoth. You always greet your visitors this way?
I have no visitors except lackeys from Grand Admiral Thrawn. All others are by definition intruders.
What makes you think I'm not with the Empire? Enough of this. The Grand Admiral...
The Grand Admiral is your enemy. Don't insult me with childish denials, Mara Jade. I saw it all in your mind as you approached. Did you really believe you could take my Jedi away from me? I told you to go to your chambers.
Yes, you did.
Then why are you here?
I felt a disturbance in the Force. As if a battle were taking place nearby. Hello, Mara. Skywalker? I didn't come here to kill you. Card's in trouble with the Empire. I need your help to get him out. I see. What happened to your Master Sabaoth? Did she attack you? Or threaten you in any way?
She is a living example of the danger I have been warning you of since your arrival. The danger all Jedi face from a galaxy that hates and fears us.
No, Master Sabaoth. Surely you must understand that the means are no less important than the ends. A Jedi uses the Force for knowledge and defense, never for attack.
A platitude for the simple-minded, or for those with insufficient wisdom to make their own decisions. I am beyond such things, Jedi Skywalker, as you will be someday, if you choose to remain.
I'm sorry. I can't.
Then you turn your back on the galaxy. Only with our guidance and strength can they ever hope to achieve real maturity. We can heal the galaxy, Luke. Together, you and I can do it. Without us, there is no hope. None at all.
Maybe he can do it without you. Is this how you would heal the galaxy, Master Sabaoth? By coercion and deceit? Get behind the ship. I'll hold him off. Skywalker? Over here, by Sabaoth. He's still alive. We can fix that. Not even singed. Impressive. R2 wasn't shooting to kill. Get out of the way. I'll finish it. We're not going to kill him. Not like this. You don't leave an enemy at your back. Not if you like living. Vader was deep in the dark side, too. He was able to break that hold and come back. Maybe Sabayoth can do the same. I wouldn't bet on it. Just remember, it's your back that'll get the knife if you're wrong. I know. You said Card was in trouble. Yes. The Grand Admiral's taken him. I need your help to get him out. Okay. Let's go. Shuttle 37 down. Awaiting further orders.
Shuttle 37 acknowledged. Shut down all systems and prepare for unloading.
Got it. Control, this is my first cargo run. About how long until we'll be able to leave?
I suggest you make yourselves comfortable. Figure a couple of hours at the least.
Oh. Well, thanks. Maybe I'll take a nap. Let's just hope they haven't transferred Card off the ship. They haven't. The only danger is that they might have started the full treatment already. The full treatment? Their interrogation. Just about... there should do it. Out of the way of prying eyes. And you shouldn't hit anything vital. Right. It's okay. The lightsaber gives off enough light to see by. I'm more worried that the cable might have arced to the hangar deck. Get on with it. Don't forget to bevel it. A gaping hole in the ceiling would be a little too obvious for even conscripts to miss. Awfully quiet down here. It won't last. We need to get into some uniforms or flight suits or something before we go much farther. There should be a group of TIE pilot ready rooms down that way. What now? What do you think? Just tell me which room has the fewest people in it, and then get out of the way. I'll do the rest. Wait a minute. I think I can suppress their curiosity enough for me to walk in, take the flight suits, and leave. What if you can't? We'll have lost whatever surprise we would have had. It'll work. Get ready. Skywalker. Besides which, I doubt that even with surprise you can take out all three without any noise.
That Bith was really getting on my nerves, so they shot him. How was I supposed to know he was a friend of the Admiral? You'll be executed for sure. No way. They don't know it was me. Sure they do. Your pistol has a tracking device in it. The higher-ups can trace when your weapon was fired and where. You're kidding. I have to go check on something.
Well, go ahead and get into it. I want to try and hold off their curiosity for another couple of minutes, until they've forgotten I was ever in there. Come on, come on! You can change on the way. You still want to do it this way? I don't think we've got any real choice. Han and I tried the frontal approach once on the Death Star. It wasn't exactly an unqualified success. Yes, but you didn't have access to the main computer then. We ought to be able to get him out before anyone realizes they've been had. Your access door's that way. I'll give you 3 minutes to get set. Even holding his breath, the stench hit him like a slap in the face. Whatever advancements the Empire might have made in the past few years, their shipboard garbage pits still smelled as bad as ever. With a muffled clang of heavy hydraulics, the walls began moving slowly toward each other. Getting into the detention level this way had been his idea, and he'd had to talk long and hard before Mara had been convinced. But now that he was actually here, and the walls were closing in on him, it suddenly didn't seem like nearly such a good idea anymore. If Mara couldn't adequately control the wall's movement, or if she was interrupted at her task, or if she gave in for just a few seconds to her hatred for him, Luke watched as the gap between the walls closed to 2 meters, then 1.5, then one, and came to a shuddering halt, just under a meter apart. Taking a moment to catch his breath and get his bearings, he started up. If Mara's reading of the schedule had been right, he had about 5 minutes before the guard shift changed up there. The guard was changing, and for the next couple of minutes, both shifts would be in the control room. An ideal time, if he was quick, to slip a prisoner out from under their noses. The corridor was deserted. Luke glanced at the nearest cell number to orient himself and set off toward the one Mara had named.
I don't believe it.
Me either. You fit to travel?
Fit and ready. Fortunately, they're still in the softening up phase. Lack of food and sleep. You're familiar with the routine.
I've heard of it. We're going to rock chimney it down to the garbage masher. You ever done that before?
No, but I'm a quick study. The side of the Empire that tourists never see. How do we get out?
The door's right there. Mara's supposed to open the walls again in a couple of minutes and let us down.
What did she promise for your help in this?
Nothing. She just reminded me that I owed you one for not turning me over to the Imperials back on Merkur.
Indeed. No mention, either, of why the Grand Admiral wanted me in the first place.
I assumed it was in revenge for helping me escape. Is there more to it than that?
Let's just say that if we make it away from here, the New Republic stands to gain a great deal. Is Mara doing all of this?
She has an access code for the ship's computer.
Interesting. I gathered from all this that she had some past connection with the Empire.
Yes, she was. Car's on its way. He knows you didn't betray him. I didn't ask.
Where are we going?
We came in on a supply shuttle. We cut an exit hole in the lower hull, but we should have enough time to weld it airtight before they send us back to the surface. Where to? Pilot ready room 33129T.
Good evening, Captain. Is that the bridge deflector overhaul? Yes, sir. No problem so far. The cargo unloading down in FB2 is running ahead of schedule, too. Good. Have the Millennium Falcon transferred up to vehicle deep storage until we can find some use for it. Yes, sir. Oh, and there was one other strange report that came in a few minutes ago. A routine patrol on the supply-based perimeter came across a skip-ray blast boat that had made a crash landing out there. A crash landing? Yes, sir. Its underside was in pretty bad shape, and the whole hull was scorched. Any bodies? No, sir. The only thing aboard, and this is the strange part, was an Islamir. No telling where it came from. Oh, there's telling, all right. Sound intruder alert, Captain. We have visitors aboard. Order an immediate check of guard cell. If he's still there, he's to be moved immediately and put under direct stormtrooper guard. I want another guard ring put around the supply shuttles, and an immediate ID check begun of their crews. And then have the Chimera's main computer shut down. Shut down? Carry out your orders, Captain. You see, the only way for them to have known the Chimera's course and destination was for Mara Jade to have tapped into the computer when we brought her and Card aboard. Yes, Commander?
Comlink message from detention. The prisoner Talent Card is no longer in his cell.
Very well. Alert all units to begin a search of the area between detention and the aft hangar bays.
Car is to be recaptured alive. As to his would-be rescuers, I want them also alive if possible. If not, I'll understand.
Thank you to my patron, Jedi Council member Kyle O'Connor. If you wish to support the channel, please go to patreon.com/Nathan_S. Link in the description. And stay tuned for the next episode of Star Wars: Dark Force Rising.